Let's be honest, you can't escape it. AI is absolutely everywhere. But for a lot of business leaders, it's just creating more confusion, not clarity. I mean, there was a recent study that found while almost every executive thinks AI is going to give them an edge, very few actually have a clear plan. So that's what this is all about. We're here to close that gap and give you a real, practical place to start.
And this quote it nails it, right? This is the whole thing in a nutshell. It's not about chasing the newest, most powerful tech. It's about having a crystal clear idea of the problem you're trying to fix. Because without that clarity, the most advanced AI tools in the world are really just expensive toys.
If this feels familiar, you are so not alone. It's like you're caught in this digital blizzard, right? All these new tools and buzzwords are just swirling around, and it's almost impossible to see the path forward. But don't you worry, we're about to clear the air and hand you a map to get through this thing. So how do we do it? How do you go from feeling totally lost in that AI blizzard to feeling like you're firmly in the driver's seat? That's the big question we're going to answer. And look, this isn't about turning you into some kind of tech guru overnight. It's about giving you a simple playbook to make AI work for you, not the other way around. All right, let's get into it. Before we can even think about building your AI strategy, we have to lay a really solid foundation. And that means getting super clear on what AI actually is, and maybe more importantly, what it isn't for a business like yours. This first step is absolutely crucial. It ensures every move you make is on purpose, not just you reacting to the latest trend. Let's just demystify this thing once and for all with a simple, no-nonsense definition. At its core, AI is just software that learns from data. It finds patterns and it helps you make predictions. Honestly, think of it like a super-powered assistant. It can handle all those repetitive, data-heavy tasks with incredible speed and accuracy, and that frees up your team to do the more strategic, creative stuff. No killer robots, just smarter business. Okay. Now, this is really important for your focus. On one side, you've got general AI. That's the science fiction stuff, right? You can pretty much ignore that for now. On the other side, you have applied AI, and this is where the real magic happens for your business. This is the practical, down-to-earth AI that's already out there solving real-world problems, from automating customer service to making supply chains work better. That's your sweet spot.
Okay, I need you to lean in for this next part, because this is probably the most important mindset shift you're going to make. This is the secret sauce. It's what separates the AI success stories from all those cautionary tales you hear about. If you get this one thing right, you are well on your way. This is the golden rule, seriously. But so many businesses get it completely backward. It's so easy to get distracted by the latest, shiniest AI tool. But the real power, the real wins, come from starting with your problems. What are the biggest headaches in your business? What are the most annoying, time-sucking tasks your team has to deal with every single day? That's where you'll find your best AI opportunity. And here's how you find those problems. It's so simple. You don't need a fancy consultant or a team of data scientists. You just need to have a conversation. Just ask your team this one question, and I promise you, you'll be amazed at what you find out. It could be something like manually copying data from one system to another, or spending hours just trying to find one piece of information for a customer. These are the hidden gems that AI can totally transform. Now, as you're listening to your team talk about these annoying tasks, here's a little checklist you can use. You're trying to find the things that aren't just a pain, but also have a real impact on your business. So, is it recurrent? Does it have multiple steps? Is it done manually? And will fixing it actually make a difference? If you can check all 4 of these boxes for a single problem, you've just struck AI gold. And here are a few real-world examples of what this looks like. In finance, it's all about automating that tedious, error-prone data entry. For a sales team, it's about giving them the insights they need to close deals faster. And in HR, it's about freeing up your people from answering the same questions over and over again. These are the kinds of low-hanging fruit that can give you a quick, significant return on your investment. Okay, so you've found a problem that's just perfect for an AI solution. Now what? You might be tempted to just go all in, try to transform the whole business overnight, but trust me, that is a recipe for disaster. Instead, we're going to take a much smarter, more strategic approach. We're going to start with your very first low-risk pilot. This right here is your new mantra for implementation. Think big, start small, scale fast. It's kind of like planting a tree, You don't start by trying to grow a whole forest at once. You start with one seed, you take care of it, you watch it grow. Once you have a healthy little sapling, then you can start planting more. The exact same idea applies here. Start small, prove that it works, and then scale up.
And here's your roadmap for planting that first seed. It's a simple 4-step process. First, define what success even looks like in real business terms. Second, get your data organized. That's huge. Third, run a small controlled pilot with just one process and one team. And finally, and this might be the most important, bring your people along for the ride by explaining the why behind this whole thing.
This chart really helps you see what start small actually means. We're not talking about some big bang company-wide rollout. Nope. We're talking about a tiny, focused pilot, like 5%. This lets you test things out, learn, and make adjustments without putting your whole business on the line. Think of it as a little controlled experiment that will give you the data and the confidence you need to scale up later on. Now, let's talk about this secret ingredient. The one thing that will absolutely make or break your AI project. And it's not the technology, it's the people. You can have the most brilliant AI on the planet, but if your team doesn't buy in, it is destined to fail. The human element is everything. So here's the crucial thing to understand. People don't actually resist change, they resist uncertainty. When you bring in a new technology, it's totally natural for your team to have questions. Is this thing going to make my job obsolete? Am I going to be replaced? If you don't tackle those fears head on, you're going to hit a wall of resistance. That's why communication is absolutely everything. So to get past that resistance, you need to build a team of champions from within. That's where your practitioners and ambassadors come in. Your practitioners are the folks already on the front lines finding smarter ways to work. The person who's an absolute wizard with spreadsheets. And your ambassadors are those trusted influencers, the team member everyone goes to for advice. If you empower these people, adoption will start to spread naturally, from the inside out. This is such a powerful idea, and it's a little counterintuitive, isn't it? We usually think you get competent, then you get confident. But here it's the other way around. You have to create an environment where your team feels safe enough to experiment, to fail, to learn, all without being afraid of being judged. That's what psychological safety really means. It's about giving people permission to just be curious. All right, let's bring this all home. We've talked about getting clear, starting with problems, running small pilots, and bringing your people along. The whole point of all this is to get that first tangible, meaningful victory, that one win that builds momentum and proves this whole thing is worth it. So what does a smart win actually look like? Well, it's not some fuzzy, abstract idea. It's a real, measurable result that you can actually feel. It's things like slashing your dispatch time. It's automating 80% of common questions. It's virtually eliminating data entry errors. These are the kinds of wins that make a huge difference and get the whole company excited about what's next. And the beautiful thing about all of this is that the formula for success is incredibly simple. And it's repeatable. It really doesn't matter what industry you're in or how big your business is. The pattern is always the same. Start small, fix a real problem, and support your people. If you can do those 3 things, you're going to be successful. So let's just reframe this whole thing. Your goal isn't to do AI. That's way too vague, it's intimidating, and ultimately it's kind of meaningless. Your real goal, your first goal, is just to make one smart improvement that saves time or reduces costs or makes your customers happier. Now that's a goal you can actually achieve. In the end, AI is just a tool. A really powerful tool for sure, but it's not a magic wand. It's up to you. You decide how to use it. The opportunity is right there, just waiting for you to unlock it. It's hidden in all those daily frustrations and clunky processes that are holding your business back. So the only real question left is, what's your first smart win going to be?